and welcome to ANB Silver 20 part 6. Before we do anything, I mentioned in the last episode that I have managed to recover my crafting sequence so we can go back to predicting crafts after having a bit of a nightmare. Now the way that I've done that is using one of the community developed tools. So my character, I can take a look at the leaderboard, which comes up slowly. So I know that I'm rank 151 at the moment on there. So if we pop out of Eternium altogether and jump into Pythia, I'll put a link to this down here. This is a crafting predictor tool created by a member of the community or others. Now at the moment it's just set up waiting to put in your crafts, and it will then try and predict what the next one will be. I've lost my complete sequence. We'll just chuck in anything for now. I can click to check crafts. I know that I'm in the Master League as a mage, and I think that was 151, wasn't it, the rank? So if I click check crafts, it has pulled up Wispy DFA, my character. 23 crafts in total, and there's the full sequence, so 73, 72, 74, 72, 72, 73. So I've made a note of that so that I can go back to predicting crafts. Off that sequence, I'm guessing that it's going to be 72, 75, 73 as the next three crafts, but we'll find that out later. So with that done, let's jump back into Eternium and get on. So here we are back in Eternium. I've been complaining about not having a very good weapon for a while. If I think the 75 is 2 crafts away, I'm going to have a go at crafting a better igneous than that one. What was the stats we had there? Haste, ability rate, power, experience, craft, weapons, haste, ability rate, power and experience. So I think this is a 72. I'm going to write this down on my pad. Back to pen and paper for me. And then this next one should be a 75, which is what I want, a much better weapon. Oh, it's the 73. It should be due. We'll do a couple more crafts. If this doesn't work out, then I'll get on with experience farming. Definitely overdue. Make this the last craft. There it is. We've got our weapon that we wanted. I'd better write that one down. Damage isn't brilliant on that, to be honest, but what have we got here? 1397 to 2097. Wow. That has got terrible damage, but everything else is better. I'll stick that in a stash and have a think about whether I'm going to use it or not. It's a bit annoying that it's come out so bad. Sell off the other junk. From the daily calendar, that's where that gemstone selection has come from, so we shall throw those in there, just let them build up. And I was flying around on 92 yesterday. I want to take another look at 97. We were 141 yesterday. Should we look at it with the terrible weapon first? We'll try it with that, but that has got awful damage. It's lower damage than we had, so it might not be worth actually using it. If this works out okay, then I will stick a Slayer enchant on the thing. We do plenty of damage to regular mobs in any case. I've not played this particularly cleverly, I've just run through the map, haven't I? So that is going to slow the run down. I'm not going to waste any more time on that level. We'll play it properly this time. Supposed to round up about a third to half the map with death from above. Deal with them and then move on. So let's try and be more sensible. I've collected the daily quests with the main account, but I've not actually run them just because time doesn't allow. So you'll see that some of these have daily circles around them. I think we've got, see the, yeah, it's killing the healers, so I'm assuming we'll get plenty of them from these trials. This is looking slow again. Very badly played. Let that lot catch up a bit. Throw them into immolate. We got the dragon. Probably tickle it because we don't have the best of weapons again. One second faster than last time, I think. Let's just take a look with the hideous thing. Where is it? Goodness. With that one, that's got slightly better damage. I could just stick Slayer on that, to be honest, if it's coming out better damage than that. I do like the extra experience on there. Let's have a look. Some 97 runs to get us going. It would probably help if I assign the champion levels that we got from those runs as well. So there we go, a little bit more power. Things would certainly go quicker on the boss fight if I had Slayer, so do I stick it on this low level weapon or not? Decisions, decisions. Let's pull in these. We are so slow today. Probably because I've not played any trials yet and not yet warmed up into a good process for getting through them quickly. And we're even slower again than before. That doesn't feel farmable to me like that unless I stick Slayer on the weapon. So do we go? I'm going to drop back to 92. The reason for that is it goes a lot better. I can run down, get a couple of hundred more champion levels, and then maybe look at climbing a bit higher. Pick our way through there, even though we don't have a huge amount of toughness, we've still got enough. We'll shatter there because that's pulling in a lot. Don't want to get slowed too much. Come through the choke point and die. Okay, part of the reason for the slowness is my bad play at the moment. Again, that wasn't a brilliant run, but I think the trial 97 runs were enough to prove to me that this weapon is probably our better bet still than the 75. So we're going to enchanting exotic weapon Slayer. We'll pop one of these. There we go. Just feels bad putting that on a 73. But that is going to give us a nice big chunk of extra damage. Let's just have a look at that on 92 again. Or rather, it gives us a nice big chunk of damage when it's active. Let's not do a cave, hate them. My initial thoughts are this isn't a great map for a fast run, but it will depend on how many elites we can pull in early on. Everything's scattered far and wide on a huge map. But we're on for a decent run now. So we have Talisman of Power. Slayer is also up here. We didn't get the full benefit of it. And down goes the dragon. Let's keep one more run. I'm going to do 97 again. We get more chance for procking Slayer on the dragon fight. So the reason I want to try and go a bit higher than 92 is the better drops. Right, that's that lot dealt with. Some elites down there, we'll pull them in. The shatters up here will keep them interested. Talisman of Power, let's make use of that. That's more like it, pulling a dragon out in under a minute. And we have Slayer there, which has given us a nice chunk of damage this time. And then we continue to tickle it for the rest of the fight. Talisman of Power and Slayer. And 121. That becomes farmable. Okay, so Troll 97 it is. I don't think we need to video the next 45 minutes of me running 97, but rest assured that's where I shall be. We'll meet back up when these are finished and see where we are. So see you again shortly. And welcome back. 36 seconds left on those EXP and currency boosters I initially set off for this session with, so let's add an extra hour to those. In terms of abilities, just had Immolate, Glass Cannon and Power Infusion hit level 10. So I've set Frost Nova, Endurance and Fleet Footed on their way to 9. Really it's Frost Nova and Endurance I want up to 10, which will mean that all the push skills will then be at 10. So I'll be dropping Fleet Footed for Endurance when we come to push. In terms of materials, we are slightly short on Greater Essence of Fire, but we can convert these up to get another 87. There's another 73 Shadow here as well. We'll be using some water for the Trinkets, Belt and Bracer, so, but plenty of them to convert to other essences if need be. So we do have enough materials hopefully to craft a push set already, up to 1.6 million gold. This will still be a gold farm. I'm undecided on when to move to 102. You get the occasional good run, or occasional, not occasional, there's quite a few come in around this 109 mark, and then you get hit with some 130s. I have a feeling that we're not strong enough yet in order to run 102 efficiently. We might take a look after this trial. that immolate bracer of mastery isn't too bad actually on these mob phases. It is sort of melting creatures that are sat in the immolate field, so whilst it is a bit of a pain when it comes to boss fights not having a death from above bracer, it's certainly no hindrance on the mob phase. I've run this terribly again. I was doing this earlier, wasn't I? Camera recording, and we end up with a slow run. Although that said, we have pulled the dragon out nice and quickly. It's just that the fights tend to take a bit longer. Oh, so that's our fastest run yet. Obviously with the first run with Death from Above, Immolate and... not Death from Above, Glass Cannon, Immolate and Power Infusion upgraded. I think what I will do is carry on at 97 for now. If I was on a Frostbeam build, we would have been farming 105 a long time ago. Should we take a look at 102 just to prove to ourselves that that's not the place to farm? It will get us some extra rewards, but I just want to confirm this. If I play it sensibly, the mob phase should go well, but we'll have a terrible long boss fight, so let's just pull in those. We'll try and play this a bit sensibly. Probably enough enemies pulled to think about grouping them up. Where's there a nice amount of red dots on the map for our shatter? Here. Ooh, some slow there. And we'll hit them, so we will be tickling the broken dragon unless we have something like Slayer active, which has done a better chunk. Preferably Power Infusion plus Slayer gives us the best result. This is, so we've got both up this time, and it did enough to blow them away. 132, it's not too bad. I think I'll stick with 97 for a little bit longer, but the good thing about clearing Trial 100 is we've got some more currency boosters, a bit more glory, and experience boosters that we don't need anymore because I bought enough earlier to cover all of that. We've got too many. I'm acutely aware that it is Friday. We've got basically 2 and a bit days to go, and we're not even 3 hours in on the playtime, so Saturday afternoon I guess is going to be a major farming, experience farming session without necessarily recording. But for now I shall pause the video. We'll meet back up probably when this is run down, or if I decide to move up to 102 for full-time farming. Let's see you again shortly. And welcome back. I think we'll finish off today's video with a couple of runs of Troll 102. Hopefully these will be finished very soon from a couple of runs, and then I can set them on the way to 10. Now if you're very astute, you'll notice my gem balance has gone down a little bit, and the reason for that is that I had a level 76 regalia pads drop. It was deflect rating, ability rate, power, crit rating, so I have reforged a few times until I got crit damage. So we've actually got something approaching decent for push there, and since I will be using that for push, I've crafted ready for that the enchantment that will go on it, which will be a crit damage increase. So one item ready for push. Let's do a quick mass salvage. Just notice the inventory is rather full of things that I want to throw away, but it's quite nice to get that rare occasion when something decent drops from a trial. I've had a few runs of 102 and they're all over the place. Been down under 120, been almost 2 minutes. Now the reason I like the map or running 102 itself, apart from it being the Broken Dragon, which is a handy boss for Death from Above, we're always guaranteed this jungle map as well, so that's a nice bonus. We're not going to worry about caves turning up. Let's group them into that immolate, because that's doing a nice amount of damage. I have managed to lose Northern Wind, so let's get a quick shatter before we lose aggro on everything. And I'm making a mess of this run, but never mind. So this is going to be one of the atrocious 2-minute runs, I think. By the time we've finished pulling the enemies. We'll throw in a quick Death from Above there. Nothing decent active. I'll throw one in, tickle him down a bit. Handy thing is we can get in quite quickly with Death from Above with its short cooldown. Immolate's still producing quite a bit of damage for us with that bracer. Death from Above should be much higher. It should be sort of above shatter, sort of roughly equal to what we're doing thermal shock wise, if I had the right bracer of mastery. But I don't, so we are living with increased immolate damage. It's not the end of the world, even though we've had the worst luck imaginable so far with crafting. Mostly my fault for losing track of things, not thinking and just pretending I'm on my main account where I don't need to track crafts, since I'd only be looking for a 77 there. So just keep crafting until it pops out is my approach there. And of course that's not the case of what you want to do in ANB. And then we've had the rotten luck with the weapon that we're using, the 75 coming out with just about the worst damage stat that you could get. So I think all things considered we're doing remarkably well. Even if it has felt like a complete nightmare at times. Let's try and deal with this lot for now. Talisman of Power. Nice chunk of damage done. Just the end of the Slayer proc. Nothing up for that one, doesn't really matter, we're almost there now. And Slayer up there, so just under 130. Should we do one more run just to finish off the video? We'll get those to level 9, that'll end the video. I'm not sure how long this is with the number of clips, I've not been checking. Not so many videos to stick together still. Trying to spin too many plates at once. So, even though these runs that we've seen so far haven't really been an efficient use of time, I think given how much playtime I still have left in ANB and that I need to get through it, I'm not too bothered about not having the most efficient runs here. That should draw out the dragon. So we've got Slayer active for our first one of those. Power infusion and... oh, that was confusing for a moment. I was trying to deal with the extra enemies that are pulled in and broken dragons. Crowd control immunity briefly wore off. If we've got a 1 out, oh, we've got enough to get us to exactly on the nose. So we'll set them off to 10. And just to say, after a bunch of runs, have been a number of runs below 120, so I'm going to stick at 102 for the rest of EXP farming. So I guess next time out I don't think I will make any more EXP farming videos because we've got the set that we're using. It will be a case of meeting back up at the start of the next video when I will have either crafting a push set or have it ready, and we'll just go ahead and do the push with a crit build, which I need to have a think about the stat distribution that I'm going to use. Stick that in there for now, let the real world clock tick down. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Any questions or comments, feel free to put them down below, and I'll see you again next time.